Okay, right, I'll get right into this because it could well end up being a rant which takes up a full 10 minutes. This will be my views on the King of the Ring, the 3 overall. This was awful, for lack of a better word. I mean, started off like we were going to get a legitimate King of the Ring tournament. You know, we got Jericho MVP, which is a decent match. Jericho winning it. We got Matt Hardy CM Punk, which is a decent match. Punk won it. And from that stage on, from the CM Punk Matt Hardy match, the show just went downhill. It was awful. I was planning on coming on here and doing a full-on review of this as if it was a pay-per-view. That's what I wanted to do, what I had planned on doing. But yeah, this was such a crap show. It's not worth my time coming on here and giving you it. I don't like doing star ratings, but there's no point coming out here and saying how good each match was. It's just no point, you know. Like I said, the Punk Matt Hardy match was good, Jericho MVP was good, and Punk Jericho was good. The final was okay. It should have gone longer because it was the final King of the Ring, but I think even the WWE knew the unofficial final was Jericho Punk. That was a good match. But anyway, so we move on from Punk Matt Hardy. We start getting the plugs for the addresses from the presidential candidates, and like it's a desperate cry for ratings. That's all that is just an attempt to suck in fans and bring attention to the audience. And this, you know, Vince McMahon again, like they've done this whole direction of going towards kids, and then they want to bring in the presidential candidates. I think Vince McMahon seems to me to always be constantly looking for the new fan. And when he's doing this, he seems to be losing fans that they already have. You know, and it's like, if he's trying to bring in casual fans, you know, come watch our show because we've got the presidential candidates on, then like, kids don't want to see that. Wrestling fans don't want to see that because that took away from the King of the Ring final. The King of the Ring final was only about 5 minutes long, if that. Because we had to sit through these 3 bullshit speeches, just people who are just so desperately doing anything they can to get into the White House that they're willing to come on and embarrass themselves on national TV, quoting The Rock and Hulk Hogan. But there we are, we had to sit through that, which took away from the show. I think it was during the second speech that I texted a mate saying this was one of the worst Raws I'd ever seen. There we are. What else happened throughout this? We got, the thing with Carly, you see now, just why is my thoughts on this thing with Carly. I can understand why they want to develop this feud with Carly and the Big Show. I can understand if they want to start a feud with William Regal and Finlay. I don't exactly see why, because Finlay and Hornswoggle went back with SmackDown now. William Regal's the general manager of Raw. But okay, why does it have to involve the King of the Ring tournament? Why can you not give us for one night? You've brought this back for one night only. Why can you not give us the King of the Ring tournament? Why can you just not do that? You're not going to make it a pay-per-view. Give us 4 good quarterfinals, 2 good semi-finals, and a good final. Would it have been so much to ask to have seen Shelton Benjamin on this card? Would it have been so much to ask to see Morrison on this card? You could have even put Carlito in it, or, you know, hell, Batista would have been better than doing this, putting him on it. We got that crap with Carly and Finlay, Carly getting disqualified. And then Regal walks out, and it's announced then that Regal's opponent is Hornswoggle, which again was just even more further embarrassment for King of the Ring tournament. The Hornswoggle was in it. I mean, seriously. It was like they've made a mockery of the King of the Ring tournament. You know, they reeled off earlier in the night the previous winners of King of the Ring. You know, you mentioned your Edges, who's a multiple-time world champion now. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Brock Lesnar was, you know, on his way to being a genuine main event when he won this. You know, big names have won this tournament. and Triple H won it, I think he has. And to do all this, to put Hornswoggle and Khali in it, and William Regal, who we didn't even know was still an active wrestler, just does it makes a mockery. If you ask your basic 10, 11, 12-year-old fan now in 5 years' time, what do you think of King of the Ring? They're going to think it's nothing. They're going to think it's garbage. It's a little BS. And for me, King of the Ring in its prime was just as big a deal as winning the Royal Rumble. People like tournaments. People like, and it gives the wrestling edge to it. It's like wrestling doesn't have leagues. Wrestling doesn't have cups. This is different. This is a cup competition styles thing. It's a different environment to see these guys in, and you know, it gives you the hope that they're going to go out there and have wrestling matches for just one night only. But again, Vince McMahon finds that too much of a bitter pill to swallow and just cannot give us that on one night. But there we are. We moved on. We got more presidential addresses. They were crap. What else? And the Divas came out. This was okay, I suppose. You had to get the Divas on TV, and this was the quickest way of doing it. I think that's probably going to end up being some sort of battle royal or something at Backlash, and it'll be something involving that. It's two groups. But anyway, then we got, oh good god, that bullshit, the Obama versus Clinton thing. Oh my god, again, it just takes time away from the King of the Ring tournament, which is supposed to be this prestigious thing. You've done a special 3-hour Raw dedicated to this, and you put this on the same night to just take away from it. What was the point in this? It was garbage. I mean, a harsher crowd. If they'd have done this in Chicago, if they'd have done this in Philly, they'd have got hammered for this. They'd have got absolutely hammered for it, and WWE would have deserved to have been hammered for it too. It was utter BS. But there we are. Where'd they go from there? Then we got, was it then we got the semi-finals? Jericho Punk was a really good match. Picked it up. I think this night sort of confirmed my thoughts that CM Punk isn't really all that over. He could have been. It was about a month or two before WrestleMania was when Punk was ready. You know, that's when Punk was at his most over. That when it was time to push CM Punk. Then he lost so many ECW title matches. He became ECW's Batista. I think people lost a little bit of interest in him. And you put him in there against, like, Matt Hardy is hugely over now. You put him in there with Jericho, who is always going to be hugely over. It's going to flop a little bit for him. But there we are. The other semi-final, Finlay, William Regal. This was okay. It was vaguely entertaining because it was hard hitting, and I like hard hitting. You know, so it's different as well. Not too many people in WWE do it. To see those two kick the crap out of each other was good. The ending was a bit crappy. I don't know if he was meant to get his arm trapped under him or what, but he could have tapped out. It was okay. This is a decent match. It wasn't great. Don't think William Regal should have been in the tournament, but there we are. Then I think I've covered all the segments, and the majority of them are pretty poor. So we got then to the final, King of the Ring, Punk and William Regal. And this was crap. My jaw hit the floor when CM Punk tapped out. I mean, why? I personally think they should have given King of the Ring to either Umaga or maybe someone like Jericho. So Punk is already Money in the Bank. You don't need to give him that. There we are. I don't see why they gave this to William Regal. I hope we don't end up seeing a whole King gimmick as the GM of Raw. I hope we don't see him in the ring too much more. And this was crap. It's just there's no need to squash one of your younger guys who's up and coming, has got the Money in the Bank briefcase, and jobbing him to William Regal for the King of the Ring. It's a prestigious thing, and it's been wasted. The crowd died when William Regal won this. Right, looks like I'm going to run out of time. But the main event was okay. It was better. I watched it the next day because I stormed off in a disgust after the King of the Ring final. But yeah, the main event was better than it has been in a while. But WWE, this was awful. Thanks for shitting on the King of the Ring.